Holly, Robins and Rabbits. Welcome to Friday's English lesson. Miss Walsh did yesterday, so I'm going to do today's with you. So we're going to start off like we always do with a couple of spellings. So I'm going to write, we've got use and put, and we're going to use those today, and you'll see what they are later as we go through. So I will write these just once on here, and then you'll do them in your books or whatever at home. Okay, so first one, use. So round, up and down. Now these letters will all be about the same size, so they've not got any descenders or ascenders. Okay, and I've kept all my letters together. You might then write a whole row of those. And the next one, put. Okay, so down, remember it comes underneath the line. And then the U, up and down. And the T needs to be taller than both of these letters. So down and across or tower there. So you write a row of those each now, okay? Right, we're now going to play this with both. Oh, Miss Walsh has just reminded me, we need to look at the text map now. So I'm just going to minimise that and go to the text map. Okay, again, like yesterday, we're just going to look at the blue section because this is the bit that we'll be doing today, and that's the instructions. Okay, so I'll try my best to remember it. Okay, as we go through them. So instructions. Number 1. First, fill a bucket of water. Fill a bucket of water and add the bubble bath. 2. Next, put on all your waterproof clothing. 3. Then put your smelly gnome into the bucket of water with the rubber ducky to play with. 4. After that, scrub him or her vigorously with the scrubbing brush. 5. Next, wash his beard with shampoo, but be careful not to get any in his eyes. 6. Warning. Gnomes like to splash a lot when being washed, so work quickly. 7. Finally, use your miniature towel to dry the gnome until he is completely dry. Okay, so now we've done the text map, we are going to have a look at a vocabulary game. Okay, so what I'd like you to do is, can you find and replace all the adverbs in the text? Now remember, adverbs tell you how you were doing something. Some of you might remember the little song that Miss Walsh sang the other day. Okay, some of you might be able to use that to help you remember what an adverb is. It usually ends in an ly, okay, and there are 2 in the set of instructions. Okay, so if you could, and then I want you to see if you can find different words to instead of the 2 adverbs that are in our instructions. Okay, so I want you to pause the video now, please, and see if you can come up, find them and come up with any of different ones for those. Okay. You should have found that our 2 adverbs were vigorously and quickly. Okay. Now I thought of some different ones that you might have come up with for vigorously. Remember, vigorously means with a lot of effort, so I thought of forcefully, forcibly, aggressively, heartily, energetically, eagerly or powerfully. These are all words that mean a very similar thing to vigorously. And we also had quickly. Other adverbs for quickly could be swiftly, rapidly, speedily or briskly. Okay, they also all mean quickly. Okay, so as we go on to the next thing, our learning objective today is to understand that instructions use imperative verbs to keep them precise. Okay, so verbs, we've heard of those before. And again, if you know the song, you'll know that verbs are doing words. So run, walk, skip, okay, all of those words are verbs. But in instructions, we have something called imperative verbs, okay? And they are, we can call them bossy verbs. They're telling you how to do something, and they sound a little bit bossy in instructions. So I'm going to play a little instruction game with you now, okay? And I just want you to follow the instructions that I'm saying, and we'll talk about the imperative verbs I've said, okay? So if you could stand up, please. Can you clap your hands? Wave your arms. Stamp your feet. Shake your hips, okay? All of those, I hope you followed along at home, all of those are imperative verbs. So stand up, wave, clap, stamp, they are all imperative verbs or bossy verbs, okay? So I want you to have a look at, you could go back to our instruction text. I want you to highlight or write down all the imperative verbs in our text map, okay? And remember, imperative verbs tell the reader exactly what to do. So if I just look at here, it would be first, get the bucket of water, I think it's get the bucket of water, and put in the bubble bath, okay? So at home you've got this side, but on the other side you may also have the text written. If you want to highlight them or write them down, or you could just talk it through with your adult at home. So you want to pause the video now and have a go at that, please. Okay, you should have highlighted or written down these words that I've highlighted here. So, fill the bucket, oh, it's fill the bucket with water, and add the bubble bath. Number 2 is put on the full set of waterproofs. Remember, some of them might have had 2, 3. Then get your smelly gnome and put him in the bucket. 4, after that, scrub him or her vigorously with the scrubbing brush. 5, wash was 1, wash the beard. And then we went down to warning, we had work quickly. And the last one, use the miniature towel. So use was the bossy verb there, okay? So, remembering that our learning objective is to understand that instructions use imperative verbs, to keep them precise, okay? What we'd like you to do now is have a look at the instructions we sent through yesterday. You might have printed them off, or you might be on the website. I'll get those up in a moment. I want you to, you could either highlight, write a list, do a thought bubble of all the imperative or bossy verbs that are in those texts. So let's just have a look at those again from yesterday. Okay, you'll mainly need to look at sort of what you have to do. Okay, so if I was looking at this one, number 1, first you must dig a very large and deep hole. The imperative verb here is dig, because that is what it is telling me to do. That's the imperative verb there. So I could go through this section, write it in a list, or write it in a thought bubble like yesterday, write all the imperative verbs. I could then go to the next one. Ooh. And have a look at those. First, dress yourself excitedly. Dress would be your verb, okay? Right, I think that's all your activity today. Yeah, that's your activity today. So as I say, write a list or in a thought bubble, whatever is easiest for you. Okay?
Stop. Hang on.